Hello, this is Johnny Cycles, bringing you my very first edition of Pioneer Curious, where we're testing out a, you guessed it, Gruul Dragons build. We'll try it. See if my opponent wants to talk. Alright, so you might recognize some familiar faces here in my Gruul Dragons build: Kiora, Questing Beast, Glorybringer, but we have to use things like Elvish Mystic and Land War Elves in order to ramp into these things, because there is no Utopia Sprawl and there are no hobbits. So does Pioneer bolt the bird as well, just as well as they do in Modern? I mean, if we can stick, anyway, without Utopia Sprawl, Kiora becomes less powerful, but she will be essential to us casting a Questing Beast ahead of curve. Alright, Generous Visitor. Guess that's going to grow rapidly. Now we could just have these two fight, but I'd rather continue our ramp plan. Now next turn, if all goes to plan, we will play a Glorybringer or a Questing Beast. Man, I love Questing Beast. It'll be tempting not to play a Questing Beast, but Glorybringer will give us the greatest upside to destroy whatever nonsense they have going on, which looks to be an enchantment deck. It looks like a Bogles deck, maybe? Alright, well, we're getting lucky to dodge a bullet with that one, because it looks like they're missing a land drop. And I assume they're going to attack Domri, yeah. We're okay with this if we can untap and kill it with Glorybringer. The missing a land is really helpful for us, obviously, because we're going to have, looks to be 5 mana. Alright, now they have maybe some protection spell up. So it is Bogles. So Bogles is a thing in Pioneer. Yeah, so I haven't played Pioneer in probably, let's say, 5 years here. And that's probably generous. It might be a little bit longer. It's been a long time. I can only have one. I only have one target. I don't think they'll be blocking with their 1/1 hexproof, but you never know. Now that we hit a third land, that's really good for us because we have the mana to cast another dragon if we draw it, even if they kill our Domri, which I assume they'll try to. And if they don't, or and if we can play the Kiora, if we don't draw a dragon, play the Kiora, untap the Glorybringer, and try to kill whatever else they play. And when I was playing Pioneer, it was a brand new format, and I basically just tried to take my old standard decks from that time period of Theros and run them out. I had made like a black-green dragons deck. Sorry, a black-red dragons deck, Rakdos, and then a Coco deck. I might try them again. We'll see. So we can play the Kiora, and if we draw a land and they don't kill our Domri for some unknown reason, we can play the Questing Beast on top of the Kiora. That'd be really good. But I think they're going to probably go after this Domri. Although now that this has hexproof, they may feel like it's less power, it's less important. Another enchantment, all that glitters. Yeah, the race is on. If they go after us, at least. And we could have held back a blocker to save the Domri. At this point, I'm not sure if that really makes the most sense. We'll see. Alright, ooh, Stingerback Terror. Can we do all of that? Well, we can untap. Definitely want to get down the Kiora to untap the Glorybringer and start swinging in. They're down to 1 card and we're at 20, so I feel like we're definitely winning this race. And we can just swing in for 6 now, and then they're on a 2-turn clock. Being on the play against Bogles makes a big difference, obviously. Now, the one thing they might be able to attack this Kiora, and they just scoop it up. Okay, with 2 cards, they figure the writing's on the wall. Alright, well, first Pioneer game in a while, playing a familiar deck in Bogles for Modern, but with some different toys. And, I really don't know what to bring in. Pick Your Poison seems like it could be a decent card against some of their shenanigans. More removal, but then, maybe a Clothis. So hexproof means our targeted removal is off the table to a large degree. But we saw more than one threat, right? We saw hexproof creature, not hexproof creature, so we do want to keep some of our targeted removal in. Do we just try to race, or do we take out some of our ramp? Alright, well, let's run it like that, I guess. We might regret it. We may want to bring in our mana ramp if we lose. And I will be right back. Opponent not feeling particularly chatty. That's okay. They might even have their chat blocked. Okay, I was about to say, are they just deciding that there's nothing they can do to beat our amazing game plan of burning everything with Dragonfire? 1, 2, 3. Alright, well, we have some ramp, and we have some removal, and we have some spells. We have everything we want, really. One piece of removal is not the greatest, but hopefully it can do enough damage to kill their first threat if it's not a hexproof threat. Opponent mulliganing. I was going to say punagain. Opponent is mulliganing to 5, trying to find their pieces. Probably a hexproof threat to suit up, and something to suit it up with. That's where Pick Your Poison would be so good. I don't know how quickly Bogles can win in Pioneer, but do they have the hexproof nonsense. Okay, so it looks like they're stopping at 5 just because they don't want to go any lower. It's fair enough. We got very lucky in drawing one of our turn 1 mana dorks, even though we cut 4 of them. What is their first threat? What is it going to be? I mean, Bogles is one of those decks that can win, if it's anything like Modern at least, can win kind of out of nowhere and very quickly. And if you make one wrong decision in how you interact with them, it can be game over. Alright, this is one of their key pieces, I think. Whenever an aura enters the battlefield under your control, if you cast it, you may search your library for an aura card. Yeah, and it's a 2/2. So we're definitely going to need to kill that. 2 damage to any target other where X is the number of cards revealed this way. Do I need to do that? I can just do 2 damage to it as well, right? It's the first time I've ever cast Invasion of Turkir. It's pretty exciting. Ooh, we can attack the invasion too? Sure, why not? Or the siege. I forgot. I've never played a siege in my entire life. It's my very first siege. We might as well hit the siege. You never know. Next turn, if we draw, well, we have a land. Next turn, we can get this questing beast down and flip the siege into that 4/4 dragon, and that might be fast enough with what we have coming down after that. Portable hole. Never mind. Well, the dream was close to being realized, but now we will be slowed down a turn. So we can maybe get this cure down into the questing beast or Glorybringer the next turn. Or we maybe get lucky and draw pick your poison. Cavern. It's pretty good. Do they bring in some sort of counterspell nonsense? I imagine they mulled a 5. I assume they did bring in some sort of interaction with spell. I don't know if Spell Pierce is legal in the format, but then we'll just leave it at 7. Alright, well, we're set up next turn to play an uncounterable questing beast if we want, or an uncounterable Glorybringer. Glorybringer seems like the better card. But we have 2 questing beasts is the thing. What is the instant speed removal of... What's instant speed removal in Pioneer, folks? I do not know. So we name Dragon. Play a questing beast. See what their answer is. Another one of those. Alright, I think I'm going to attack the siege and flip it, hopefully. If they don't have a way to interact. Now, does a Bogles deck play something like cast this card transform without paying its mana cost? Yes. So I'm confused. Alright. I've never done a siege before, so that's an interesting interaction. Do I have only until end of turn? And we get to draw another card? Holy cow. No lands, though. Alright, I think my dog needs to go outside. I'll be right back. Hopefully our opponent won't scoop while I'm gone. And our opponent scooped while we were letting my dog out, who was whining. after coming downstairs from her long night of sleeping. Well, that was a pretty good and impressive display of power and playability. Granted, Bogles stumbled a little bit with their mulliganing to 5, but that's how Bogles plays. And we did not stumble. We got to play our first siege, flip our first siege. I'm still not sure if I did it all right, but I'll go back and watch and read about it. And Bogles is a known entity to us from Modern, and we know how to fight against it, and we got pretty lucky with having the spot removal we needed, as well as the threats. So our deck did everything we wanted it to do. So pretty cool. Dragons and Pioneer, folks. Is it a real archetype? I guess we're going to find out. For CyclesGaming.com, this is Johnny Cycles. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all on the next one. This has been another edition of Pioneer Curious. This is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, be sure to check out my website where you can read about my various commander decks, my modern jank, and now my Pioneer brews. I'm also publishing my science fiction fantasy novel, The Podkine, serially. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button over there on YouTube. Everybody counts. As always, thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all on the next one.